All right, so I've been wanting to do this video for a long time now, but I felt like I was missing a couple more brands to, you know, to do this comparison video because before this two came in, this is by the way Trans Hobby, which is a newer brand, and also Arbox, which is fairly new in 64 scale. Arbox is also almost real, for those who are not familiar. Before I had Tarmac, of course, Hobby 64, Mini GT, of course, and of course Sparky. They are now called Spark. They were branded recently, which is a good move, if you ask me, because it was confusing. And to be honest, Sparky sounded like it's aimed for children. So it's a good move because a lot of people know Spark, not Sparky. Sparky, of course, is popular for racing models in different scales, especially 1/43 and 1/18. But anyways, this is gonna be a comparison video of all 911 GT3R models in 64 scale. This one is not GT3R. This is RSR. But unfortunately, I don't have any Spark GT3R yet, but I know they exist. But I think as far as feature goes, minus the tire printing, which I'm going to talk about soon, are similar price point as well. So this is just for extra credit, so I thought I'd just include it in the comparison. So as far as the body, I think all of these brands, they pretty much nailed the Porsche 911 GT3R silhouette. And keep in mind, this is an RSR, okay? But I think all the bodies are the same. And of course, they are all true 1/64 scale. So again, this is Tarmac Works, Hobby 64. This is Mini GT. This is Trans Hobby, and this is Arbox. Now, because I've looked at all of these models before producing this video, and the main differences are the extra details and features, and the biggest thing for me is the stands and the wheels and tires. So let me start with Tarmac Works Hobby 64. So I like this model. Well, I think this was my first GT3R model, and I like the fact that they included these tiny antennas. Just so you know, these antennas are not included in the Mini GT, Trans Hobby, and Arbox. But if you look at the photo for this model, for this car in real life, and also for this Tempo Porsche, they do have antennas in real life. I'm gonna try to put like a photo somewhere up here to show that. But that's where Hobby 64 and Tarmac nailed it, because they added these two tiny antennas, which is a nice touch. I do appreciate that, even in 64 scale, because it adds so much, it adds realism, and of course it's more accurate, and that's how I like my model cars, right? That's why we buy detailed model cars, because of its accuracy compared to the one-in-one cars. So now going back to the wheels and tires, the only thing that I don't like about Hobby 64 GT3Rs are the tires and wheels, because the wheels or the tires, well, I don't know if this is just bad luck, but number one, they don't roll, which is I expected, right? However, if you look at how these tires are actually being squeezed inside that wheel arch, you see this? I don't know if the tires are too big or the wheel arch are too, I don't want to say narrow, but maybe smaller, because it's really tight there. There are no gaps around these tires or this wheel arch at all. I mean, there should be some gap there, and I'm gonna show you a perfect example of that later on. But this one has almost zero gaps around, right? This one, however, in front, you see this gap on the right? It's just so inconsistent. Like I said, I don't know if if this is all Hobby 64 Porsche 9 GT3 R, or I just have a bad copy here. See this gap on the right? Yeah, that's terrible. See the other side? Yeah, the other side too. See that big gap? And then on the rear, I mean, there's some gap on top. So it's just very inconsistent all around. And going back to the tires, I just I don't like it because it's not realistic to me, because the tires should be more round, because they're on slick tires, right? And if you look at the photo of a slick tire, for a GT3 cars, they are more round on the sidewall. You can see that, and in fact, I'll show you that later when I get to the Arbox one, because I think they nailed it. That's a spoiler for you guys. But this one has more. It's more like square, if that makes sense. And there should be more round, on the. And you can tell when the tire is properly inflated. You can see that roundness on the tire, on the side of the tire, or the sidewall, I guess. But the good thing here is, of course, it's Hobby 64, so they've included the brake details in front and back, which is good. And again, the antenna, that's a big deal to me. I'm not sure to some of you if this is a deal breaker or not. It's not a deal breaker to me, but it's when they add that, I do appreciate that a lot. So, and of course the headlights are acrylics, and I think on the back as well. But yeah, this is Hobby 64. And also the base is plastic, and it's super light too. It doesn't feel premium to me. And this is the first time I've taken this model out of its base, so it just feels so light. It's almost as light as this Sparky one. This Sparky is very light. I guess I'll talk about this Sparky now. Again, this is a Porsche 911 RSR, not a GT3R. I just want to throw it out there. This one, the wheels wiggles. You see how loose that is? By the way, guys, this Sparky, I think this was around 25 when I bought it. I mean, at least they come. It's a 2-car set. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I bought it at around 28, 30 to 35 bucks for 2 cars. At that time, it was cheap for 2 cars, right? But for Spark models, they're the race cars in 64 scale. I think they're selling it now for 25 a piece. So 25 a piece, which is kind of steep, and you get this kind of quality. Look how loose the wheel is. It's not supposed to do that. Sure, it rolls, but it's just the wheels are so loose. And of course, back in the Sparky days, they don't have tire printing, but now they do. So at least they added the tire printing there, which is a big deal to me. And of course, the antenna, they got the tiny antenna here. Of course, big props to Sparky. They did that. And one of the biggest difference is the wing support, which I'm going to show you guys later. But Tarmac, see the wing support is just no gaps, just a solid plastic that holds the wing. Same with Sparky, right? But let me talk about my Mini GT first. And for its price, I think Mini GT hovers around 15 to 17 or 18 bucks, right? US. This is what I'm talking about the tires. Of course, excellent roller, right? By Mini GT. I'm not talking about the wheels. I'm just talking about the tires, because the tires here, even though I feel like they're not round enough for me, the tires look good and it's painted well, right? Even for Sparky, I'm not hating on Sparky. It's just it wiggles too much. At least they got the tire shape correctly, and the thickness too. It's just it wiggles too much, and no tire printing. But Mini GT nails the tire printing, of course. They have tire printing. You see the P0 Pirelli there on the sidewall. The wheels are painted well. The tires too. Do you see what I'm talking about regarding the roundness of the tire? You can tell, right, by just looking at the tire that it kind of looks inflated correctly, right? You see that roundness on the side compared to Tarmac, and the thickness too. I think they nailed that. You see that gap around the wheel arch. See that gap here around the tire and the wheel. I think they nailed that. I just want to show you the stance of the Mini GT. I think they nailed that. See that gap in the middle? That's the perfect drop for me, or the perfect stance for perfect stance for the GT3 R cars, in my opinion. But yeah, this is the perfect tire size, tire thickness, and tire shape for me. And I'm gonna show you the Arbox pretty soon, but I think they nailed it too. So again, Mini GT, if you're on a budget and if you're an IMSA fan, I think they still make one of the best GT3R cars in 64 scale. Under $20. So, and just remember this: the wing support here is very similar to Tarmac and also Sparky. So take note of that. You don't see any gaps there, and it's plastic. So now we're getting to the good stuff. Trends Hobby. I've said this numerous times in my past videos. They're one of the brands that I really like right now as a Porsche fan, because they make good Porsche. However, I'm going to show you this in a bit because it has an opening feature. So this one in real life, the real life car has an antenna in the back here. I'm going to try to post a picture of the real life car compared to this car. You'll see that little antenna up here. The only thing, well, first of all, before I get to the tire size, I like how this model rolls really well. I like how it has tire printing. I like how it has brake details, right? And I also like how it has an opening feature, which I'm going to show you right now. Right there. So you'll see all the cooling stuff there in the front. Of course, if you have the road car, the 911, 992, this is a frunk, right? It's for storage, but for race cars, they keep all the cooling stuff in the front. So if you're into opening models, yeah, this is a good one, especially for race cars. This is the first GT3R that I've seen that has opening features. So they're the first, I think. Anyways, yeah, of course, acrylic headlights and taillights, all the details that you might expect from a premium diecast. And also, before I talk about the tires, check out the wing support. This has gaps, and I believe it's metal. Yep, it's metal. It has gaps, and I think I'll try to find a photo of the wing support in real life, but I think this is accurate. Yep, it's supposed to have gaps there in the middle. And again, it's metal. I think it looks better that way instead of like a solid black or plastic wing support like that. So they nailed that. As far as stands, again, they're one of the brands that actually nailed the stands. Right there. Almost a similar height to Mini GT. See the gap in the middle? Now, it's not perfect, at least in my opinion, because again, the tires, I think the wheels might be on the bigger side because the tires are too thin, right? And it's not as round as Mini GT. If you want to do a comparison here, side by side, if you look at the tires, Mini GT up here, I think that's the perfect tire size for GT3 cars. Yeah, and it's more round, right? But yeah, this tire right here does not look inflated at all. It's just too thin. And it has tire threads. Is that accurate? Because I thought they were running softs, right? I could be wrong. Man, I have to find photos. But yeah, I mean, at least the wheel looks good, right? The details and the spokes are actually thin and nice. I like that fact. And I think it might be a staggered setup here. Yeah, thinner in the front, thicker tires or wider tires in the back. Anyways, I'm saving this model last because I think minus the wing support, I think this Arbox pretty much nailed everything. The tire size, the tire thickness, I think they nailed that. Very similar to Mini GT. I don't know if they're the same thickness, but I think the Arbox's tires is a tad thinner. And of course, they included the tire printing on the sidewall. Excellent. Acrylic headlights and taillights. Check. Right? And then the wing support, of course, is very similar to Mini GT, Tarmac, and Sparky or Spark. And I don't think that's accurate. And I'll find a photo online to verify that, and then I'm going to post it up here. Now, and this is a great roller as well. Not on Mini GT's level though, but it does roll. The silhouette is perfect, if you ask me. And the stance, gosh, I've seen photos of this already online, and check out the stance. I hope I'm doing this, video justice, because if you look at that stance, I think it's perfect. See the gaps around the wheel arch, perfect. And the gap in the middle right there, minimal gap. I think it's perfect. Very similar to Mini GT. And the paint. This is not fair to all of these models because this Tempo Porsche is they use a metallic blue paint as part of their as part of the livery. And it just pops, especially at night, because right now it's daytime. You can't really see how bright and how metallic this blue is. But at night, and then I shine an LED light on top of this, it just pops. If I have to choose which one's the best, by the way, this one, it feels metal to me. And again, I can't really have to look this up. No, it feels plastic, sorry. This one feels metal. Trans Hobby, metal. Metal base. Arbox, I think it's plastic. It's very similar to my BMW E30. That one has plastic base. And of course, Mini GT has metal base. So, again, if I have to pick a winner, I think Arbox wins in terms of overall the tires, size of tires, the wheels, the details, the brake details, of course the paint, acrylic headlights or acrylic lights, I guess as a whole, front and back. No opening feature, but the stance, silhouette, tires, wheel size, tire thickness, I think they nailed it. Of course, minus the wing support. If that's not a deal breaker to you, then you're in a treat because this is the perfect Porsche 911 GT3R, in my opinion. Now, if you want, something a little cheaper, because this one's I want to say 25 to close to $30. At least that's what I paid for this. It might be cheaper on some of the stores, because I think RC Mart is selling Arbox now on their website, which is cool. And they just released the yellow version of this, from Absolute Racing as well. I think that one raced in Bathurst. So, but this one, if you're looking for around the same price as Mini GT, 17, 18 bucks, under 20, with opening feature, better wheels than Mini GT. I'm talking about the wheels, not the tires. But the tires, again, is too thin for me. And I don't know why this one has tire threads. It's not, I don't think this is wet or it's supposed to be soft. Anyways, but yeah, if you want like a really good Porsche GT3 R with opening features, under 20 or close to 21 bucks, then Trans Hobby. Look at Trans Hobby. It's very, very, very good. Now, Sparky. I don't like Sparky or Spark at all because of its price point and what you get from it. Yes, sure, there are license. They do. Well, they added the tire printing now on the sidewall, which is great. Again, license. But the thing is, I don't like how cheap it feels. Plastic base, and I gotta verify if this issue still exists in the new rebranded Spark models, because that's a no-go for 25 to 28 bucks. That's hell no. No, I wouldn't pay for another Spark model unless they fix this. Sure, they come in acrylics, because this two came in acrylics too. This one and the Trans Hobby. No, Trans Hobby came in a box. So this one does. So I don't mind paying for, close to 30 bucks because Airbox nailed it. This one, however, no. It still feels cheap. Wheels are not tight. So stands are good. It's just no. Under 20, sure. On sale, yes. Again, it's still a good model. Don't get me wrong, but for the price, I'd wait for a sale. And yeah, and I paid full price for this. So, but they're the only company, they're the only brand that produced this RSR, and I really love this livery. So I had to get it. So I didn't care much about the wiggly tires because they're gonna be on display anyways. So, but I just want to point that out. So, because I know for some of you this bothers you, and I don't blame you at all. Because for a lot of people that's a deal breaker. To me, I can overlook that for right now because of delivery, because I love it. And of course, Tarmac. I'm hoping that this is just a bad copy. There's a bunch of QC issues here, and it's unfortunate because nobody else is doing. I think Spark, but in 43rd scale, nobody's doing this livery because I really love this livery from the Nürburgring. 24 hours. And I like the wheel color combo with this livery. So it's unfortunate of course with the yellow headlights too. It's just unfortunate that this happened. And again, I'm just not a big fan of the tires. Wheels are fine. Tires are no good to me. So at least it has tire printing. So just cool. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that comparison video. I didn't do a review on this and this because I think I pretty much cover it in the comparison for you guys, and because that's all that matters, right? If you want to see like how good it looks stance wise, tires and everything, I think I covered that in this video. So yeah, so that is the comparison video of my GT3R collection. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.